Powerful winds swept across Atlantic Canada over the weekend, knocking out power to thousands of hydro customers in Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. Almost all of them have since had the lights and heat turned back on, while New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island were spared any major outages. These outages come amid about what is being referred to as a global energy crisis, amid an oil and gas supply that is not meeting global demand. And as the world shifts to electricity and renewables, the issue of outages will become increasingly significant. Well, with us to discuss energy policy is Parker Gallant, a retired banker and energy researcher. He is also a regular contributor to the Financial Post on matters related to the energy sector, and he joins us now. Welcome, Mr. Gallant.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Well, pleasure to have you on. Firstly, let's begin with this. What are the factors that seem to be driving the current energy crisis?
Well, there are a number of them, actually. Of course, you have the Russian-Ukraine war, which has disrupted oil and gas getting into Europe and other places. That's one of the items, and of course, I always think that a lot of it has to do with the fact that we had COP26 back in November of last year in Scotland. And they, went all full bore for net zero, at least the countries that are developed. Not so much the undeveloped countries like China or India. They're saying that we can't make it there. So the net zero sort of targets, I think, have created a real, problem.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit more about this net zero. We know the government of Canada has committed to achieving net zero emissions by 2050. What exactly does this process entail or look like?
Well, it basically is, we stop using all fossil fuels. So that means that, every automobile, every truck, every bus, every locomotive that operates in the country should be, doing so with the use of electricity by that time. But of course, where is that electricity going to come from, is the big question. And, we just don't have enough electricity to, fossil-free electricity to be able to do that.
Well, that was my next question. Do we have the infrastructure to meet this increased demand? And if not, how do we go about acquiring it or building it?
Well, I personally don't think we have the power. The only province that sort of is fully, if you will, fossil fuel free, except for the automobiles and all the other things that consume oil and gas, is Quebec. And Quebec has enough electricity available to supply most of what they need, but they have long-term contracts to supply a lot of the US states. That means that they won't be able to go, all full bore net zero either. So, but beyond that, no other province has got the capability of going to net zero without cutting back an awful lot on the use of their electricity. That's the only way it could be accomplished. Then that's not possible. I mean, we had an event here in Ontario where 30 municipalities wrote into the Minister of Energy and said, we want to cut down and shut down all the gas plants. The IESO, the Independent Electricity System Operator, came out and said in their report, said it's going to cost $27 billion. That's just Ontario. So, the price of that's only the price of getting rid of the gas plants in the province. It doesn't mean full electrification of all our automobiles and railways and everything else.
And I think you mentioned it there as well. Electric vehicles are seen as one of the key drivers of a shift towards a more green or renewable economy or energy sector. What needs to be done for the rubber to really hit the road for widespread adoption of EVs?
Well, I saw a report that I believe it was a university that came out with it, and it said that we need another 10,000 megawatts of capacity in order to be able to, charge up those electric vehicles. And we don't have that available at all in terms of fossil-free fuels. We've got two fairly significant hydro plants being built at the present time, one in Newfoundland and one in in British Columbia that will bring about, I don't know, 1,500 megawatts to us. So we're going to be short an awful lot of electricity.
That's an awfully lot of we'll be short a bit of electricity there anyway.
Yes,
Well,
right.
Thank you so much for joining us on the program today, Mr. Gallant.
Well, thank you for having me.
We'll be right back right here on Forum Daily.